So here's how people make money with false hope using the scientific paradigms. I was writing a comment. I didn't even want to do a vlog here, but I'm doing it, and then I'm gonna freaking post it on this site here. Look what it's called. Okay, it's called Mashable. 1.18 million subscribers. Number of views, 400. Well, let's say 440 million views from the United States. The description of this channel: Mashable is for superfans. Oh, we're not for the casually curious. Obsess with us. Oh my God, it's pathetic. This is who, these views are not them, it's you, right? So here's a Doomsday Glacier, okay? Here's what I was writing on it. Oh, it saved where I was. That's interesting, because it didn't let me finish my comment without making it disappear and popping up to another page. So what I wrote to this guy, if he ever sees this stuff, is that within a minute I said he was contradicting himself on basic science. Like, for example, he was saying this is going to happen very soon, but it'll take decades and centuries for the ocean rise, I don't know, in Antarctica to happen in Florida. Like, what the hell? Like, what are you trying to say? And scientists are working on this. And it's like they're working on tipping points that have already been passed, as if you can solve that. No, they're just trying to find out things for fun because it's too late to stop it, right? They should be freaking chaining themselves to parliaments and saying, start preparing the people that live by coastal oceans. So he's giving false hope. He's all exciting. He's showing a lot of footage that showed in many other places over the last few months, and he's making millions. The first thing I said is, first you had an ad for Highliner, frozen fish, and then a vacation type ad before the video came on. So I said, oh, it's nice bringing awareness about the Doomsday Glacier after your primary goal of earning income and pretending you're awesome. Like, that's a very juvenile, childish description of your YouTube channel, by the way. And from the United States. So if you're wondering, like, what is it that they're deviating attention from right now, I would tell you there's a pattern about what's happening in Antarctica. And I'm not talking about ancient civilizations or UFOs or military bases or whatever it is. It's really about climate emergency stuff. And it's really hard to get there. And I think that's when the armies would shoot down, scientists or Greta's ship. Like, everybody would know she's there live, and I think they'd shoot her down, because they wouldn't want people to know. That's kind of a pattern right now. They're so ridiculous, the videos about this. It's hard to... Then I'm, like, continuing after 50 seconds, okay? In this video, like, it's not all information. There's, like, self-promotion, but it's 6 minutes and 8 seconds, okay? This is how ridiculous it is. And at around 4 minutes and 8 seconds, I stopped, because from 50 seconds to 4 minutes and 8 seconds, you know what it is? It's showing all these scientist pictures. This great person from this university is telling us this amazing thing, that ice will melt in water, especially warmer water. Oh my God, I have to tell my kids who are coming back from school. They probably don't know this. Ice melts in warmer water. Oh my God. No, but I mean, this is really ridiculous. So, and then they're pretending, oh my God, the scientists are studying this right now. They'll still be there when half of Florida is underwater, and then they'll let you know how it happened, that half of Florida is underwater after all the consequences, because you want to, like, do some greenwashing videos like this and earn income. And that's majoritively the videos. Like, I just criticized CDN, I think it's called, from Canada, with a comment, which they will never respond to. Total greenwashing. And sometimes it is scientists paid by oil industries and whatnot. Or politicians. Like, they're like, oh my God, we have good intentions, but we have to keep our population dumb to help them. Well, no offense, but if you want to keep them dumb enough to not take swimming lessons if they live in Florida, yes, I would say, you might want to take Putin to the criminal or crimes against humanity, but you pretty much got to take everybody else there. I got to say that. Here's the rest of the video.
It's showing us that this system is very complex and requires a rethinking of how the ocean is melting the ice, especially in a location like Thwaites. How much sea level rise is
Oh, but we have decades and centuries to figure out how ice melts. So don't worry. The prices of the houses, especially if I own one myself near coastline, should keep going up and keep creating more homelessness. And whoever is the last one to get screwed buying one of these properties and then making a gigantic loss with the next storm that brings the water in it and never recedes, and no insurance companies pay for it, and the sewage water gets mixed in with everything. Oh my God.
Well, already sea levels globally have risen by some 8 to 9 inches since the 1800s, but considerably more is in store. Today, Thwaites melting contributes to 4% of the ocean's sea level rise. In the coming decades and centuries, however, that number may shoot up if the glacier becomes detached from the ocean floor and the cork pops off the bottle, so to speak. Ice could flow.
So what I wrote in the notes that weren't there yet, and I can't remember the exact date because I didn't write it down, but I predicted a date and put my reputation on it. And of course you can't, like if I land exactly on it, it's pure luck. But I'm telling you that I'm ready to put my reputation on the fact that it'll happen sooner rather than later. And it'll be feet, many feet within this time. And I think my prediction was February. I'd have to go see why I wrote it somewhere on Facebook, I think. My prediction, I think, was February 2026, which is in 3 years. Feet. Many feet, and it'll have a different impact on different part of the geological landscapes that you are, right? It's not just about storms, ocean surges, or it's about also the kind of landmass that you're on, and also, if there's ways to and building actually things to hold back water is a stupid way to spend money instead of relocating people and arresting people who make it hard for newcomers to show up in their communities. Okay, and that's the new form of ignorance. Again, it has nothing to do with racism. That's probably what you'll think it is at that point, because that's how dumb you are.
Unimpeded into the sea, eventually resulting in feet of sea level rise. Sea level rise is accelerating, driven by the melting of ice and the thermal expansion of the oceans. Seas are currently rising by about 1/8 of an inch each year. Between now and 2050, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric...
Okay, and that's the main unscientific thing that you can get even from climate scientists, okay? It's going, like, things are accelerating, systems are becoming less and less reliable, we are coming up with new ones, but things are changing so fast that even the new ones are temporary in how they can predict things. And it has to be like independent newscasters sometimes that like crunch numbers somewhere because nobody else that's being paid by governments or oil industries or whatever is doing these models. But if you're saying things, inches per year and you're going back 200 years and you just said things like things are accelerating, then again, you're a bullshitter. But the thing is you'll still make millions because people follow bullshitters because they can't tell the difference, or that's what they want, bullshit, because they're reality compromised and they haven't grown up enough to know how to have the right conversations with their kids.
Administration expects sea levels around the U.S. to rise by around another foot. By the end of the century, climate scientists estimate global sea levels overall will rise by some 1.5 to 2.5 feet.
Okay, so by the end of the century, aside from this as a cataclysmic issue, ocean rise, because most of the primates, live around coastlines, I'm talking about 3 meters minimum 3 meters. The end of the century, by the way, is less than 80 years. Okay, and I'm saying minimum 3 meters. And look, he's got a happy face, like when he's saying this, like I froze it, and it's almost like this is the phrase I was told to say where I'll get paid this amount of money for my greenwashing video, pretty much is what it is.
And continue rising. How much is largely dependent on how colossal glaciers like Thwaites and nearby Pine Island respond to warming conditions and warming waters. Importantly,
Okay, respond. Okay, so that means ice might decide, you know what? I'm not going to melt with increased temperatures now. That's possible, and maybe the Earth will decide to be flat for a while and things like that, right?
Effects of warming on ice masses like Greenland and Antarctica hinge largely on the most unpredictable part of the climate change equation: humans, driven by prodigious fossil fuel.
Okay, first of all, and by the way, greenwashing videos have to mention this. It's a way to kind of make it not look like a greenwashing video, okay? And I'll watch the rest of it to see how ridiculous it is. It's brave that he's mentioning, another place with a lot of ice like Greenland, but that's, that there's more. And he's probably not going to add the numbers in this video. Like some videos talk about this one's going to cause this much, this one's going to cause this much, but then there's also other phenomenon other than melting ice that cause ocean rise. And of course, the storms, the cycles. Like it's possible the middle of the USA will be the new atmospheric river, and where the new, tropical Amazon rainforest will be. There's a lot of things people don't want to talk about because, first of all, they don't have all the information in the system, although they call themselves Earth system scientists, and they definitely don't want to include the people primates behaviors that will keep getting worse and not change, right?
Heat trapping carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has skyrocketed in the last century. CO2 levels are now the highest they've been in over 3 million years. How?
So in the last century, okay, and it's even skyrocketed since COVID and since the Ukraine, Russia war. These diversions, from what's happening in the real world by the elites. I'm not talking about a century. As if you want to blame people that are dead. Blame people that have the MLA and MP offices and the new news companies in your neighborhoods. Go talk to them. Why?
Where will they go?
Where will they go? Yeah, okay, wow, you seem really alarmed. Let's play that part again.
In the atmosphere has skyrocketed in the last century. CO2 levels are now the highest they've been in over 3 million years. How high will they go?
Okay, he's not talking about ocean rise. He's talking about, because he's preparing to do another video. He thinks he'll be around in like 50 years, this guy. So I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous stuff, and I'm going to name this organization and their exact title in the title of my video. It's just because I'm sorry, but somebody's got to care for your kids, people.